Brandy, otherwise known as Mystery of Diamonds, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hey y'all. Okay, so this is week 2 of the Wip and Chat for the hashtag givethanksvember. It's for our thankful collaboration that I am doing with Mindy from Mindy's Diamond Moment, Kara from The Principal Painter, and Maritza from Kiss My Crafts. So I do my Wip and Chats on Sunday. And so far, and let me turn off the light pad so that you can actually see this a little bit better. This is the canvas that I am working on, which is I Am from Diamond Art Club. And I am doing this canvas for my daughter Jasmine. She loves dragons as much as I do, and this is how much I've gotten completed in a week. Oh my gosh, y'all, like this has been so much fun to work on that I've actually had to find myself I had to do other projects to slow down because, you know, I don't want to finish this way into the beginning of the collab. So I am having to pace myself, but I am telling y'all it is so difficult to pace myself because I'm having so much fun working on this. But okay, so I got a chance last night to do my very first the very first DP-a-thon where I got to go live. Oh my gosh, y'all, it was so much fun. I had such a blast. And of course I got to go after Mindy, and I was so nervous because, you know, Mindy she is just such a natural, and I love watching everything that she does. I love watching all of her videos. I love watching, you know, going and participating in her lives and all that. So I was a little nervous, but I was so happy to see everybody that came in and was commenting, and you know, y'all that were there, you made it so much easier and better for me, and I really appreciate that. I cannot tell you how grateful that I am for everybody that showed up and showed support. And you know, if you didn't catch the live, you can catch it on replay. You know, do hashtag replay. I'd love to see your thoughts and everything. I was working on my miniature for my my mother-in-law. It's what I'm doing for her for Christmas, and I thought, you know, I'd been diamond painting all day because, oh, I'm telling you, with this DP-a-thon, it has allowed me to get really far in diamond painting, which is why I had to kind of take a break off of this canvas so that I didn't get too far ahead on it, because I was really getting some work done listening to all the lives. And so I've been having a great time. So we are just into week 2 with this, and the reason we're doing this is because we want to give thanks to different people that are in our lives, different thanks for things that are happening in our world. And so I talked about my daughter Jasmine last week, and you know, Jasmine is not the only one of my kids that I'm thankful for. I'm actually thankful for all of my kids, but I want to say I'm going to kind of highlight I'm going to kind of do a twofer. I'm going to highlight my other 2 children, and then I'm going to talk about my my grandmothers, who were my inspiration for crafting. But my oldest child, Chris, he is away at college. Luckily, his college is not that far away from me. It's only about a 2-hour drive. So I do get to see him, like, not regularly, but I do get to see him, you know, from time to time, holidays. And then he also tries to come down at least once a month for visitation, and so I'm really grateful for that. But one of the things, he's really helped me on my channel, because as I'm sure that y'all have seen in the on my page, as well as when I'm chatting or whatever, you see the logo, and I always try to put the logo now in the beginning of my videos. My son Chris drew that logo, and it's, oh my gosh, y'all know, for those that have been following my channel, I am a huge dragon fanatic, right? And so I had asked Chris, I said, Chris, is there some way, any way that you can do a dragon curled around a diamond? You know, since I'm Mystery of Diamonds, I wanted there to be a diamond somewhere in my logo. And so what he did is he gave me some sketches that he was thinking about, just some rough sketches, and we settled on a design, and he is possibly going to be designing me a logo banner, something to be able to go on the top of my channel. So I'm still waiting for that, but I'm sure he'll get that put together before too long. Got my fingers crossed there, because I love showcasing the talents that my kids have, and Chris is extremely talented in drawing, and he does a lot of his drawings both paper and pencil, as well as on the computer. And I think it's kind of funny, because when he first said, well, Mom, you know that I do digital drawing, and I was like, well, no, son, I don't want like copy and pasted images. And he looks at me like I have grown a third head, y'all. He's like, Mom, that's not what digital art is. It's where I draw on the computer. I was like, oh, well, okay, then that's fine. I guess it shows you how not technology savvy that I am. But you know, when he showed me the rough sketches, and then he had it ready for my birthday in September. He had it ready for me to look at. It was like one of my birthday presents, and y'all, I was blown away. I mean, it met all my expectations and then some, because not only did he have this absolutely cute little dragon, because I did tell him I wanted it more cutesy than I did serious. Even though I love my serious dragons, I kind of wanted something just more, I don't know, cute. And so I have this absolutely precious dragon, and then Chris had made the diamond so that the coloring is like an AB diamond, and Chris is the only one of my children that I managed to actually get into diamond painting. The other two, they tried it out, it just really wasn't for them. So they just say, if they like a painting, they'll just say, hey Mom, I want you to do this painting for me. Kind of like this one that I'm doing for Jasmine. But Chris I can actually give the paintings to, and Chris has actually come in and rated some of my pens. I had bought a fox pen from Crashly, Crash with Crashly. It was a polymer clay pen, and y'all, oh my goodness, he saw it. And I had a feeling that that was going to happen when I bought the pen. I had a feeling that Chris would see it and would want it. And that's actually been his very first diamond painting pen that was not one of the pink pens. And so he tells me that he likes it all the time. You know, he uses that particular pen when he diamond paints, because it feels a lot better than the pink pen does. So I've got some ideas for Christmas presents now for Chris, because I can actually get Chris diamond painting stuff, whereas I can't get that for my other two. But anyway, so Chris had designed it and showed it to me, and I am trying to, right now, customs are closed with TSA, but when Rachel opens them back up, I am going to try to get my logo as a custom diamond painting, and I'm actually going to get a couple of copies of it. I'm going to purchase a couple of copies because I want to give Chris one. I think I'll give Chris a round so that he has a diamond painting of his very own artwork. I just thought that would be really cool. And of course, I want a diamond painting of his artwork, but I think I'm going to get mine in all crystals, you know, and that way it will blingy, blingy, blingy up. You know, I'm kind of lucky that I was able to talk to Rachel a little bit to let her know what I wanted, because I am an affiliate with TSA, and so that helps that I can talk to her, and she does amazing customs, so I'm really excited and waiting for them to come back open again. So I'm excited for that, and I will have information in my description if you are interested in getting a discount. I have a discount code for TSA. They do have some amazing things coming up soon that you might want to be able to look at. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that right now, because I do want to highlight, like I said, my children. So Chris has always been... Chris was the first artistic one as far as my children. Jasmine really didn't start showing artistic interest until she got a little bit older. But Chris had always been interested, and Chris actually did take art in high school and then took some art classes when he went to a different college, because when he first graduated high school, he went to a college in Georgia, Valdosta, and he still didn't know what he wanted his major to be, so he was just taking a lot of different classes, and he ended up taking some art classes. So he had art classes in high school, and then he had art classes in college. And he's kind of decided that he is interested in going the digital route. He has been learning how to do coding, and he's been learning how to create websites. I think, I'm not positive, but I think that he is looking at going into like making games, like game design. I'm not positive, and he may watch this and be like, Mom, that's not what I'm doing. But last I checked, I know he's taking a lot of computer programming classes, and he's really, really good with electronics. So that's a really good field for him to go into, and I think that he'll really succeed. But I do hope that he doesn't back away from his art completely, because he is very, very talented, and I'm so excited. In fact, I have a few of my friends who have asked me to talk to him about possibly designing some logos for their channels, and you know, he's a little bit like, I don't know if I could do that, and I'm like, yes, Chris, you absolutely can do that. You're talented enough, you can do that. Okay, and my youngest child, Danny, he's one of those that he's not a school person, okay, but he is very good working with his hands. And I do see him being able to build and put things together. I know recently he's been interested in like welding. So he's been doing some welding, he's been doing some building, and I look forward to kind of seeing where that all goes and where that takes him. And it's been kind of hard for Danny to be the youngest kid, because for whatever reason my oldest two like to blame Danny if something is wrong. Now it's not as much now that they're out of the house, or Jazzy's still in the house, and they still have their fights and arguments. In fact, my gosh, it was crazy last night, because while I was on my live, what do you think had happened? They had to have like a small little argument. And I'm like, really? Really? While I'm going live? Are you kidding me right now? But, you know, it just shows you can't control what goes on in the house sometimes when they just decide to go at it. But ever since they've gotten older, it's gotten a little bit better, as far as they're not blaming each other for stuff really now, because they're older, thankfully. Because let me tell you, that was a pain and a half when something would break. And see, like me being an only child, if something broke in my house, y'all, I could try to blame it on the dog, my invisible friends, my dolls, my yeah, it didn't work. You know, being an only child, if something breaks, well, you did it, you know. There's no guessing game. But having multiple children, oh, it's a guessing game as to who did it if you're not around to actually see it. So, but Danny is also a very sweet soul. I cannot tell you how many times that he has, now that he's got his driver's license, oh, y'all, oh, I'm gonna have to tell you about that driver's license. But he'll go to the store and he'll just, I don't know, just he'll think about me and he'll pick me up something, whether it's a Mountain Dew, because he knows that I love Mountain Dews, or, you know, just some little small something, and say, here, Mom. And, you know, that means so much to me. Not that he's buying me something necessarily, but the fact that he is thinking of me when he's out. You know, that's something very, very special, that shows me that I have a really good bond with my kids, that even when they're not with me, they're still thinking about me. And I can't tell you how good that makes me feel. You know, like, I'll give you the instance last night. I was really nervous right before my live. You know, I was worried that I wouldn't have anything to talk about, although I'm not sure exactly why I worried about that, because I could talk to paint drying, as my friend Kara says. I could talk to a wall. It doesn't really matter. Somehow I have the gift of gab, as far as like I can think of something to say almost all the time, even when sometimes I probably shouldn't say stuff. But I'm getting better at that one. So anyway, I was really nervous about going live, and my kids knew this. And of course, you know, Jasmine's like, you'll be fine, Mom. Everything will be good. And Danny he walked in here and he handed me a Mountain Dew, and he said, here, Mom, this is for you, for your live, so that you have something to drink. And I mean, y'all, how sweet is that? How amazing is that he, and this is without me even asking or telling him or anything, he just took it upon himself to come to me and just give me something to help calm my nerves a little bit and to show me that he was there. And he did end up popping into my live a little bit, because then he decided to bring a very cold Coke and lay it on my neck. And then at the end, he brought me the puppies for puppy cam. Oh, yeah, you gotta love puppy cams. Okay, so, you know, we are still waiting to see where his interests lie, because he is a junior in high school. So he is my baby, if you can use baby, I guess, loosely, because he's, you know, he's not a baby per se, but he's, as I told him, he'll always be my baby. All my kids, I don't care how old they get. And, you know, if you have kids, I'm sure that you totally understand. It doesn't matter how old they get. They will always, always be your babies. And so that's the same way with mine, as I've told them. I don't care how old you get, you'll be my baby. So my baby, my youngest, is a junior in high school. But at this point, we don't know exactly where he's going to go future wise. We're still looking at, you know, he's looking at possibly the military, so I'm not real sure, but he has told me that as far as he's not planning on moving far away, he's planning on staying on the property here, because we have I want to say it's like 9.5 acres here, and so he's planning on taking a piece of that and building his house, or getting a house on that section so that he's close by. And it warms my heart, because he said that he wants his children, when he has children, which, by the way, better be a long time from now. There is no way that I am ready to be a grandmother at this point. No. No. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. One day, I can't wait to be a grandmother, but just not yet. Especially since, you know, they're not ready. They're not ready for kids. But he said that whenever he has kids, he wants them to grow up similar to how he did, which we live on the property with my mother-in-law. As far as, like, she doesn't live in our house, we live on the same property. So my kids have always been able to walk over to her house and see her and visit her. And so he told me that he wants his kids to grow up with that same thing, being able to walk over to my house and to see me and spend time with me. So that makes me feel good. My other two, they are planning on staying moved away. Jasmine, I know, is going to be moving in August, which I try not to think about too much. But at least I won't have a completely empty nest, because, like I said, Danny doesn't plan on really going anywhere unless he goes into the military. And then, of course, you know, he'll be gone, deployed. But when he comes home, you know, he'll come back to here. So, and he's planning on setting up his life here. So I've got fingers crossed. I got fingers crossed that I won't have a completely empty house. Okay, so I kind of want to talk about my grandmothers. When I was growing up, I didn't get to see my grandparents all the time, and that's mainly due to the fact that I lived in Birmingham and they lived in Montgomery. So because my mother, when she had me, she moved away from Montgomery and moved to Birmingham to raise me. So I would go and stay with my grandparents during the summer and, well, you know, and holidays and whatnot. Both of my grandmothers were very big into crafting. My mother's mother, the one that I called Granny, she was so talented at sewing. I mean, she used to sew costumes for me and all that. I remember being in we were having this little Heritage Day, I think, or Pilgrim's Day, or I can't remember exactly what it was called, but I was in elementary school and we were having some sort of a little celebration, and they wanted us dressed like back in the days of like the pioneers and everything. So maybe it was called Pioneer Day. That might be what it was called. And so she kind of made me this outfit that was very similar to what Laura Ingalls Wilder used to wear on, what was it? Oh, it just went out of my head. Oh my gosh, what's the name of that? Something Prairie. Oh, Little House on the Prairie. Oh my goodness, see, my brain just was not firing on all cylinders there. Unfortunately, that happens to me a lot. But yes, she made me an outfit like Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie. And it was blue. I mean, y'all, I had the bonnet. I had the whole 9 yards. It was beautiful. And, and she's one of those, like, she could make an outfit without a pattern. I do feel bad that I never really learned how to sew specifically from her. So I attempted to learn how to sew a little bit when my kids were younger. I tried making Halloween costumes, but I'm telling you, if it were not for my husband's grandmother, because you know she lives right around here as well, I do not know how they would have turned out. But I ended up making like a witch's costume and a what was it, like a Little Red Riding Hood costume, and I made a cloak. Well, at least a part of a cloak. I didn't get to finish the cloak. It was supposed to have a hood on it, but yeah, I struggled with that because I decided to make it out of velvet, and I never realized exactly how heavy that velvet could be, especially because I was like going to have the inside of the cloak was going to be red velvet and the outside was going to be black velvet, and it was just going to be the coolest thing ever. It's also so very heavy. Jasmine now actually has that cloak. It still does not have a hood on it, I don't think. It does. Okay, yes, she's telling me now. Yes, it now does have a hood on it. She's got, I think she found the hood that I had made, because I'd made the hood separately. I just never actually put it on the cloak. But she did not want the red velvet lining on the inside, so yeah, she... I did. Okay, well, no, you hear her now.
I kept the red lining, I kept the black.
She kept the red lining, and she kept the black.
And got the teacher at school that did fashion design.
Yep, see, she got help from, we have at our high school. See, don't you just love when they help you out? I love when they help me out. But we have at our school or at least we did have a fashion design class. We don't have it anymore, unfortunately, because that teacher decided with all this COVID that hit to go to a different place. So we don't have the fashion design anymore, but she had taken the cloak to her, and she had managed to fix all the stuff that I wasn't able to fix. So I really kind of wish that I would have had my grandmother around during that time to help me. But like I said, I was really grateful because I had my husband's grandmother, who she helped me out with making it. And I still have a Singer sewing machine, but my husband is better at using it than I am. And so I never really got the sewing talent from my granny. But I really wish that, and that's one of the things that I do want to kind of work on, is being able to try to learn how to make clothes like my grandmother did. I think that would be really special. Now, my other grandmother, my dad's mom, she was more crafty, but her main talent was crochet. Oh man, the stuff that she could crochet. I mean, she could crochet with like the thread using the really small needles, because she could crochet doilies. She used to make these, you use them, they were like Christmas ornaments, but it's where she crocheted the outside of it like into an egg, and then she used, I don't know if it was paper mache glue or something to make it stiff, and then she would create a scene inside of it and you hang it on your tree. And she would also do them for Easter, but it was such delicate work. And then she also used to make and sell these wedding dolls. Now what I mean by the wedding dolls is she would take a Barbie, like one of the cheap Barbies that you can buy, and they actually do have them in the craft stores where it's not Barbie name kind of thing, and you use it for different crafts or whatever. So she would go and she'd get one of those, and she would make this huge wedding dress. I mean huge. It flowed. It had multiple layers. She even made the little underwears for the dolls. Y'all, you just have no idea how awesome that those were. She made me one for my wedding to put on, because the purpose of them was to put them on your bed, kind of like a bed decoration. And I do have it, but I've got it put away somewhere. She did attempt to teach me how to crochet when I was younger. The only thing I managed to complete, now I don't even know how to make it, was she used to make my hair bows. There were these little curly Q. It's like curly Q on the end, and then it was a crochet line and then curly Q on this so that you could tie up like a ponytail or whatever. And I remember actually being able to create one, but for whatever reason I did not have the patience to sit and learn. So when I lost her, and I was lucky because I got an opportunity to the 2 nights before she passed away. I had gone and stayed with her. We knew it wouldn't be long. She was on hospice. She had throat cancer, and she had gone on hospice because she couldn't eat. So we knew it wasn't long, which is why I went to stay with her. And then my kids got really sick, so I had to come back home, and she passed away the day after I got back home. But at least I did get to go and spend some time with her. And so after I lost her, I kind of decided that I really wanted to learn crochet to honor her memory. Not that I would ever be able to crochet something as amazing as what she crocheted, but just to be able to have a little piece of my grandmother with me. I figured if I could do the same craft that she did, that would be a way to keep her alive in my heart. And that may sound crazy or stupid maybe, but it does. It keeps her closer to me. Anytime I crochet, I think about, and I called her Momo. So I had Granny and Momo, and so to this day, anytime I crochet anything, I'm always thinking of Momo. And so it's just my little way of keeping my grandmother closer to me. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really want to learn how to sew, is so that I will be able to keep my granny closer to me. Because maybe if I could learn how to do, see, look, I knew I'd put that up and then bind more later. Like my friend Kara says, these drills have babies. They do. They have babies, and you just can't even, you think that you got them all and you don't. Oh my goodness. But no, I want to be able to learn how to sew and to be able to keep my grandmother alive. Because right now, my granny, the one thing that I did get from her is I do know how to cook. And I used to sit in her kitchen and watch her cook. And I'd get to help out some, but my granny wasn't one for really letting you experiment too much. Like, she was, this is my kitchen, and I've got to have things a certain way. But I would watch her make all of her wonderful concoctions, and so I do actually know how to make, thanks to her, I know how to make green bean casserole without a recipe. Now, it's not your traditional green bean casserole. What I mean by that is that I have never liked mushrooms. Okay, and my granny really wanted me to eat more vegetables. So she wanted me to eat the green beans, right? But I would not eat it with that cream of mushroom on it, because I was not a mushroom person. And she knew that if she put something with cheese on it, I'd eat it. I'm a total cheesehead. I love my cheese. Forgive me there for a second. So she took it, instead of cream of mushroom, she put this cheese sauce. She made a cheese sauce. It's kind of like a, maybe like a bechamel. That might be the correct word. I'm not sure if that's the actual word for it, but you know, you start off with butter, and then you put flour, and you make this like kind of like a roux, I guess, a little bit. You get it to where it's just melting, and then you start putting the milk, right, and you thicken it up, and then you add the cheese slices. And so when she gave me that green bean casserole with the cheese sauce instead of the cream of mushroom, I ate it up. And so that was one that I was always interested in learning how to make. So I watched her and watched her and watched her. And so now I make it. And it's kind of funny because nobody in my husband's family had ever had green bean casserole that way. And I am asked every Thanksgiving and every Christmas to make my green bean casserole. And my kids, for the most part, especially Chris, and Jasmine also eats it as well, they always ask for it. So that is that's one thing that I get to make, that my grandmother made, that my granny made. And the other thing that she really taught me how to make is breakfast pizza, like where you use what's that, the Pillsbury dough. See, now instead of having to use the crescents, instead of having to do the ones with the triangles, right, you now have a sheet, which is so much easier because you don't have to try to pinch the sides together and get all that going. You can just go to town with laying it out in your pan. But you know, it's got for those that don't know what breakfast pizza is, it has a Pillsbury crescent crust, and then you brown up crumbled sausage, right? And you sprinkle it on there. You do they have these hash brown potatoes that are in the freezer section that are little cubes, and you defrost them and you spread them across. You get some eggs, whip it up, and pour it on there, and make sure it covers all of the sections. You don't want it like swimming in it because it's not a quiche, right? You just want a little bit of the egg to be able to cover all the parts. And then you sprinkle it with cheese. We add a little bit of bacon, and you put it in the oven. Oh my goodness. My kids love that so much that we actually will have breakfast pizza for dinner. But that's another one that I got from my grandmother, that once again, I don't need a recipe for it. I've taught my children. So Chris is the one that has learned how to make my green bean casserole, and Jasmine is the one that's learned how to make the breakfast pizza. That's my grandmother's. And Jasmine has also learned how to make my grandmother's pecan pie, which Jasmine is the baker of the family. I'm telling y'all, she's talented. She knows how to bake. She knows her way around a kitchen. And Chris does too. Danny actually can cook really well. So I'm actually really lucky that all of my kids love to cook, and they are very good at cooking. Whereas, and I can cook, but I need a recipe. My husband, nope, don't need a recipe. He's like my grandmother. My grandmother would be like, okay, we're just going to throw a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I don't know, she always made it taste magical. So those were just the little things that I managed to get from my grandmothers. And I'm telling you, I am eternally grateful every day that I have gotten these skills, even if I didn't learn them directly from them, like the crocheting and the sewing. Anytime that I do one of those, I feel like I'm sitting in the room with them. I feel like that they're right there with me, and I feel like that they're looking down and telling me, you know, that they're proud of me for continuing my crafty side. And so that's why crafting for me takes on a whole new meaning, because I feel like it's a family tradition, right? You know, and I'm carrying on the family tradition. So that's what I am extremely grateful for right now. Is I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my other two children. You know, can't leave out any of my children because they are super special to me. And I also wanted to highlight how thankful I am to my grandparents for opening the world of crafts for me, because I could not imagine where I would be right now without crafting in my life. It brings me such joy and peace, and in these stressful times, this is my release. My crafts are my release, as I'm sure most of you probably have the same thing. Alright, so I have probably talked your ear off enough. So I am going to, look how much I got done during this. Yay! But I am going to leave you, by the way, if you liked what you saw and heard, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button down there. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe and become part of the Diamonds family. We'd love to have you here. Just make sure that you hit that bell notification so that you know whenever I upload something, because I don't have a regular schedule as to when I upload things. But I am contemplating, before I leave you, I am contemplating possibly starting to go live regular on Mondays. I'm still thinking on it right now. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that. How would you feel if I went live on Mondays? You know, would y'all come out and watch, or, you know, what's your thoughts on that? Also, remember to enter for my giveaway. You need to make sure that you comment from this video, because I'm going to be writing down everybody that is commented, so you can get you an entry to win my giveaway for this collab. And you need to make sure that you're watching and commenting on Kara's videos and Mindy's videos and Maritza's videos, so that you can get chances from them as well. So I am enjoying doing this thankful collab. I'm grateful to be working on my thankful canvas. So I'm going to leave you like I always do. Reach for the stars. Grab hold. Hold on. And never let go. Until my next video. Bye, guys.